I want to welcome Agile XRM to the podcast. I've known the people at Agile XRM for the past 12 years. I've seen how their business process management tool can add massive value to complex organizational processes in sectors such as finance and government. If you have complex processes or a need for dialogues on the Power Platform or Dynamics 365, take a look at how this BPM tool can add value. You can find them at agilexrm.com or check out the show notes for more details. Welcome to the MVP Show. My intention is that you listen to the stories of these MVP guests and are inspired to become an MVP and bring value to the world through your skills. If you have not checked it out already, I do a YouTube series called How to Become an MVP. The link is in the show notes. With that, let's get on with the show. Today's guest is from India. He works as a senior consultant at EY. He was first awarded as MVP in 2022. He's into AI, so I'm looking forward to unpacking that with him. You can find links to his bio, social media, etc. in the show notes for this episode. Welcome to the show, Ramit.
Thanks so much, Mark. I am so privileged and honored to be here with you. And thanks for having me here.
It's good to have you on the show. I always like to get to know my guests before we kick off. So tell me a bit about what you do when you're not working. Tell me maybe food, family, fun. What are those things that you enjoy in life outside of work?
Yeah, sure. So when I'm not working, I love to watch movies. If I am not traveling, most of the time these days I used to travel. So if I'm traveling, I used to visit pubs. I used to visit some places where I have not explored before. And I love to read books, and I love to, spend some time with the people, the like-minded people. Yeah, that's what I do.
I like it. What part of India are you located in?
I'm currently living in Kolkata, India.
Awesome. The best thing to eat there is what?
Kolkata is very famous for its street food. So if you are good, if you love the kebabs, right? So you would love to eat a lot of kebabs, chicken kebabs, mutton kebabs, and also this place is very famous for its sweets. The famous sweets is rasgulla in Kolkata. So whenever you visit, you must try the rasgulla and other sweets over there.
Nice. Sounds awesome. What area do you specialize in when it comes to Microsoft business applications? There's a lot of apps to choose from. What is kind of the key ones that you work with and you specialize in?
I am specialized in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, and I am basically from the finance background. So I always, I always work with functionalities called finance, core finance. Also, I'm specialized in supply chain as well.
Excellent. How many years have you been working in those technologies?
It's around 8-9 years, probably.
Wow. So you've seen the journey from on-prem to online, AX, and all the way through.
Yes.
Are you seeing, just out of interest, when you look at other ERP solutions out on the market, how are you seeing it compare to the other, whether it be SAP, Oracle solutions, that type of thing? How are you seeing it in that landscape?
Microsoft Dynamics 365, the evaluation have been very, very, I would say awesome, because, like you said, the journey I have seen from on-prems, then, AX 2012, R3, then from 2016, it has been from cloud. So now over the past few years, I have seen a lot of investment in Dynamics 365. So I can now say it's somewhere it can compete to the world largest ERP like SAP, Infor. So it's not like that they cannot or we cannot compete with them. Yes, we can compete. Having said, a good consultant and good methodology for the implementation.
Yeah. Tell me about how you got into this. Did you start with kind of like an accounting or finance background? How did you get into this area of tech?
Yes, you guessed it right. Since I have told that I am from the finance area, so I used to work. I have started my career after my graduation as a finance analyst, junior analyst. Then I got into, I would say fortunately or unfortunately, I got into a company called, Tata Consultancy Services, and then I have started a journey with SAP. Then I slightly got into with someone that who was in the Dynamics 365. So I used to get some interest, and I used to learn on my free time. And since I had some good consulting back, good consulting behavior or something, so I started consulting with them, and then I got into the Microsoft practice, and then I have started my journey as a finance consultant, Dynamics 365 finance consultant.
Gotcha. Have you ever done an integration to SAP from Dynamics 365?
Yes, we have done a lot of integration from SAP to Dynamics 65. It's, I would say, uh, most uh, common integration I have done is SAP Success Factor. So from there, I mean, in these days, SAP Success Factor is over. Most of the companies, they are using the SAP Success Factor in India, especially. So we get a lot of requests, and we integrate SAP Success Factor with Dynamics 365.
And are you just using Logic Apps, as part of that integration?
Yeah, some of the time we use Logic Apps. Some of the times our technical team uses Azure.
No, very good. How did you, as in your career has been in the finance side of Dynamics? Are you touching anything in the Power Platform, Power Apps, that type of thing, like building apps over 365 finance areas? Are you coming across that?
Yes, not me specifically as a hands-on, but in one of the largest shipping company, we have built apps in Power Apps, which is for a shipping container, shipping pool, vessels, voyage. So we have built everything over there, and we integrated that application to Dynamics 65.
Mm-hmm. No, very cool. Tell me about what you've done in the area of AI.
A lot of AI functionality is now coming into the picture. So we are basically exploring the AI over Microsoft Dynamics. So that's how we are managing the AI in Dynamics 65. Now, apart from that, I have a lot of interest in AI. Like I used to when I was learning Dynamics, so I used to work with some application called Python, some application called R. So I used to do some coding. So that time I had that interest, but not now. In these days, I basically into the consulting. So when I basically solve business problems, whatever they are facing.
Personally, have you got onto Chat GPT and started to investigate any of that side of things?
Chat GPT is like famous now. It's become a celebrity kind of thing. But personally, I have not been into the Chat GPT as of now. But I have that in the wish list that I will try.
Nice. It's definitely interesting times there. Tell me about how did you first hear about the MVP program? How did you come across it? How and what was your MVP journey?
The MVP journey, I would say, it's very much roller coaster and very interesting. First time I have been introduced with the MVP word is like from, I think Dr. Ludwig and Andre. So when I was learning Dynamics 65, and I used to write a lot of questions in the community, and I used to watch like Dr. Andre and sorry, Andre and Dr. Ludwig used to type answers, right? So then I used to follow them, and I used to follow their badges. So then I saw that, okay, I am also answering. Why I can't see my badge as an MVP? So then I researched, and I then got to know how prestigious is to get that badge. Then I have come across with Dr. Ludwig and Andre, and I have asked them how to become MVP and how to do that, and what it takes to be MVP, and what is the privilege to have an MVP. So then they have introduced me with the MVP, how prestigious is this, how responsible, what are the responsibilities will get, and I was so amazed to know that. And then I started, and I have ensured them that whenever after 2 or 3 years I will have some target, and whenever you see that I am eligible and I am doing good, you basically come and nominate me if I am looking good to be an MVP. Then I have worked really hard. I have presented, I have helped a lot of people in the community. Then Dr. Ludwig basically came and nominated me to become an MVP. And then it's it's honor to be an MVP right now, and I can understand now. Yeah.
When you look at the activities, right, one of the things we need to do as MVPs, of course, is be active in the community. You've talked about speaking, etc. Some people do, videos. Some people do podcasts like me, and some people do YouTube channels. Some people are on the forums answering questions. What kind of area do you kind of do most of your activities in?
Yeah, so that's very interesting for me. When I've started my journey to the community, I used to write a lot of answers to the community. In 1 month, I used to get best suggested, top 10 suggested answers, top 10 verified answers. So right now, I'm focusing on mainly on YouTube blogs, YouTube videos, to share my tips to basically into the new investment what Microsoft is doing, like financial tags, you know, any new investment Microsoft has done. I'm trying to record in my video and publish. And the second, activity I'm doing is to speak in the community. Like 2 days before, there was a Portugal summit in Power Community. So I had also presented there for 2 sessions. Unfortunately, I could not visit Portugal, Lisbon. My schedule did not allow. But that's the two thing I am now focusing to write blogs, either in community directly or publishing videos. And the second in speaking in the community, so that my connections also will get to know that new technology and new investment is coming to Dynamics 65, and that can also anyhow will help the business, right? So I'm doing for to educate people, so that if that problem comes, they can also suggest the same thing, same solution to their business, so that business problem gets solved. So that is what I'm doing.
Tell me about your YouTubing, as in, tell me about your process, because a lot of people want to do YouTubes, and how do you, one, come up with ideas on what to talk on? How do you how do you create your format? I see you do very attractive thumbnail images on them. Just step us through, just because it might help some people that are keen to get started. What's your process end to end?
Yeah, so I would say, I have started YouTube from a couple of months ago, 5-6 months ago. So looking at the psychological evaluation, I could say previously people used to have lot of times, I would say, in weekend, and now, so for that reason they used to write books, they used to write blogs. But now, in a fast emerging world, I think people have gadgets like mobile, people have iPods, people have laptops. So whenever they have some time, if they're interested, they will definitely go and check the videos, right? So previously I used to write a lot of blogs. Now I have changed my thought process. I will write blogs, but also I will write I will also publish videos, so that people, two-minded people, can get into my content. So then I have started my journey, and then I basically what I do, I have some noise cancellation application in my system, which is Crisp, and that helps me to cancel the noise, and I record the videos first. And my average recording video is 10 minutes, so that people doesn't get bored. Okay, so they can also get the knowledge and doesn't get bored. And after that, I basically create some thumbnails, like an application, I don't remember the name, that creates a very good thumbnails, and that is inbuilt thumbnails. Like you can see my in YouTube channel, I have created a lot of thumbnails, and that looks very good, and that looks very attractive, and people can see, okay, this video has something good by looking at the thumbnails. So that is my thought process, that okay, I will publish videos, but that video must have some attractive things, eye-catching things, so that people will come automatically and at least see the videos. So that's my process.
Awesome. That's really cool, really detailed. Once you became an MVP, what's the impact been? Is there anything you were surprised that once you're in the program that you weren't aware of? What do you like most about it? What's your experience with the MVP program?
See, I was so obsessed with MVP that I have done a lot of research in the MVP. So I was a little bit of aware that what happens after becoming an MVP. So I was well prepared. I had done a lot of research, like to sign the NDA, to be in the distribution list, to have the PGI calls and all. So one thing I wasn't aware, that we can have access to send emails to the team, so that Microsoft team, product team also can come into the picture and help us. So that I wasn't aware. So now I am taking the advantage of that. But apart from that, I was little bit of aware that what I will be having. But the total surprise that when I got the mail from MVP, I was not expecting. I was keeping my patience, because if I could wait for 2 to 3 years, I could wait for 6 months more. But the day it came, it was total surprise. And see, I know that I will become MVP someday, but not within the 3 or 4 months of nomination. So that was surprising, but I was aware, and I knew that I will become MVP someday.
That is so awesome. I love your determination. I love that you stuck with it. Ramit, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark, and it has been a pleasure. And I would say one thing to you, that when I had the dream to become MVP, I also had a dream to be in this show, so that I can present myself and I can tell my story, that how I became the MVP. It's not impossible thing. Anyone can become MVP if they have patience, determination, and hard work, and to sharing knowledge to the community. The main thing is that it's not a certification. It's something that we need to share our knowledge, and will help to the business or the other people in the community, so that business real problem gets solved. So thank you so much, Mark, once again. I wish I could meet you in person, but yeah, not a problem.
One day. Thanks, Ramit. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm your host, Business Application MVP Mark Smith, otherwise known as the NZ365 Guy. If you like the show and want to be a supporter, check out buymeacoffee.com/NZ365 Guy. Thanks again, and see you next time.